Hey friends, Catherine or Buddy, the elfstress with Graceful Table coming back with our 12 days of Christmas appetizers. Side note, they don't all have to be for Christmas. They can be for any time of year. That is what in my VIP group, they got to vote. They got to vote, and that is what they picked for the 12 days. So we are cruising through that, or cooking through that. So today it is baked brie, okay, with lots of options, and I'm actually going to show you a bonus baked cheese recipe as well. So we are going to go ahead and get started. For this baked brie, you're going to need puff pastry. Okay, so something like this. You are going to need brie of choice. So the brie comes typically in two sizes. This is a smaller wheel, okay, so a smaller one there. Or you can get a larger one. It's about, so this one's 4.4 ounces. The larger ones are like 7 to 8 ounces. So about twice the size. You're gonna need a jam of choice, anything. This is a cranberry or Christmas cranberry that we're gonna use, but you can use any jams that you want. Use like a raspberry habanero, you could use peach, you could use fig. If you have leftover cranberries from dinner, those also work really awesome in here, but pretty much whatever is your favorite is the way to go with this one. So any type of pepper jams are awesome as well. You're gonna need 1 egg beaten. We're gonna brush the top, and then a little bit of sugar for dusting, and that is it. So very, very few ingredients, and so without further ado, here we go. Okay, so here's what we've got. A couple little things going on. I've got 2 pans here. These are just little tiny sheet pans. The other thing I like to do baked cheeses in are these little cast irons, because both of these and their smaller size just kind of hold the cheese together a little bit more as it's baking. And so if it does start to kind of what I'll call leak, there's less leaking. Okay, so first step is just going to be unwrap the brie. The rind of brie is safe to eat, but if you're not a huge fan of it, it is absolutely, I always like to just cut the top off, just so there's a little less rind in the equation, but that is definitely more of an optional. Look at how creamy this is, delicious. An optional step, okay? So our brie there, we're gonna take 1 piece of puff pastry, or in this case, the one I chose was just one large one. Often they come 2 to a pack. This one is a very large piece, so I just cut it in half. I'm gonna stretch it out a little bit, and this is pretty much at room temperature. Okay, so your brie is gonna go right in the middle. If you're using the bigger rind of brie, the bigger wheel, you will want, you gotta make sure to stretch your puff pastry out a little bit further. Okay, next step. This is an easy one. You're gonna just take your jam and you're going to put it on the top. Thicker jams work better because everything kind of stays in place. Okay, so that is it for the jam. All right, and then we're basically gonna wrap this like a present. You wanna try to keep it, where the cheese is gonna stay within that puff pastry. So I usually just kind of like to go around almost like in a circle. Makes it, kind of nice. There is no absolute perfect must do, and then that is it. So it is simply just wrapped up, fitting for Christmas, just like a present. So just to show you this small sheet pan size wise, or there's the cast iron. So I'm gonna go with the cast iron for this little one. You easily could put this on a sheet pan, stone, and then have it ready as well. But for this one, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just put it in here, and then as long as it doesn't leak everywhere, I will just transfer it. Okay, so next step is just to take, this is the egg wash. Okay, and this egg wash is going to help make the edge of the pastry amazing. Okay, and then we've got just a little bit of sugar here that we're just gonna dust the top with. So it's just gonna, when it cooks, it'll give it a really pretty finish. Okay, The other thing that you can do if you would like is throw on a couple sprigs of rosemary. And this, it will definitely give it good flavor, but it won't be overwhelming because they're just on the top. So I'm gonna just take this large one and I'm gonna just cut it in half. And then you can just basically set them on the top. And there we go. That one is ready for the oven. Okay, so now for our next run, we're gonna keep going. This one also takes puff pastry, so perfect because we already used the other half. Okay, so this is puff pastry. All right, and then we are gonna use, this is a gruyere cheese that I have cubed. You could use like a fontina or anything similar to this. And we're basically just going to, you're gonna cube it so it melts better. We're doing the same thing. I'm just showing you a different option for baked cheeses. Okay, rosemary is going inside of this one, but you're actually going to, we're gonna go ahead and remove rosemary from the stem on this one. So we're gonna put this inside. And you're gonna want about, I don't know, this is probably gonna be about a tablespoon, so it's kind of just one sprig. You use your judgment based on, you know, how big your cheese wheel is and stuff like that. Okay, and then we're gonna just cut this into a little bit smaller pieces. So when it's served, you're not getting, you know, a big rosemary leaf in your cheese, okay? So there's that, and we're gonna just sprinkle that over the top. Okay, I'm going to add just a tiny bit of salt into this as well. And then this is the last ingredient that really makes this one shine. It's honey, 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 okay? This is a cute little lavender blossom honey. And so we are gonna take this and we are just gonna drizzle over the top of this. This would be really great just without being baked as well, but I'm telling you it's even better baked. Just the honey with the cheese is such a perfect combination. Okay, same thing as we did with the brie. This one's gonna be a little bit more challenging, so feel free to just, you know, you're gonna have to stretch your puff pastry, but you want everything enclosed, especially with this one without the rind on the cheese. It will definitely leak a little bit faster, okay? This one we're doing here. Same thing on the top with our egg wash. This one has rosemary on the inside, and so I'm not going to put rosemary on the outside of this one. But we are going to dust with sugar one more time. And then I'm actually going to drizzle a little bit of honey on the top of this for baking also. So for presentation, if you want to put rosemary on the top of this, by all means, you sure can. Okay, super pretty. So easy, so festive. Okay, so now these go in the oven and they are gonna bake. And when that is done, I will be back to show you what they look like. Okay, we're back and the baking is all done of these cheeses. So I'm gonna tell you this is a little dangerous to take these out of the pan, but I did it successfully, okay? And then I just simply plated this. This is just a regular dinner plate. These are those nice crispy crackers. And then I always like to serve this with like a spreader like this. That's got that serrated edge because people are simply gonna, you know, they're gonna cut it, almost wedge it, put it on the crackers, and then there is this. So this is the gruyere. And then here, I'm gonna leave this one in, but this is the baked brie. Isn't it adorable? So this in these little cast irons could even be, you know, you could easily set them on a plate similar to the other one. But if you have a big dinner, you could make the smaller bries and just put them, you know, if that's kind of your appetizer, you could easily put a few of them on the table. Also a really awesome thing to just put on a cheese board as well, to have a hot cheese as well as cold cheeses. So there you go. There are your baked brie and your baked bonus cheese. I would love to hear. Drop it in the comments. Which one are you trying? Are you trying these? Can't do these cheeses? Hopefully with one of the two. If you're not a brie fan, you can use the gruyere or the fontina, something down that road, and you can find something that works for you. So I guarantee you'll love them, one or the other, but I'd love to hear which one you're going to give a try to. So thanks, friends.